Um, a lot of these Trump toady inbreds hold degrees from colleges that they shouldn't even hold degrees from. But did they learn anything from these colleges? The original justification for the elite higher education in the United States was to train the future leaders of American democracy. As Charles W. Eliot, who became a president of Harvard in 1869, noted, Harvard existed to inculcate. I'm not sure if I'm saying that name. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but the ideals of service and stewardship. Basically, that's what they were supposed to provide. But since then, Harvard has only produced 8 U.S. presidents, and Yale 5. Stanford can boast Herbert Hoover if it feels compelled to do so. Um, Now, the elite universities have also produced a disproportionate number of senators and representatives from both parties. In fact, Repugs elected to the Senate over the last decade are more likely than their Democratic counterparts to have attended Harvard, Yale, Princeton, or Stanford. So, how to explain Elise Stefanik? She's Harvard class of 2006, now the third ranking House Repug, who recently called the January 6 hearings a witch hunt, which it's not, and it was voted to invalidate the 2020 election, and she has repeated Trump's big lie of election fraud. Or Josh Hawlash, Stanford class of 2002 and Yale class of 2006, who's now a senator from Missouri. In December 2020, he became the first U.S. senator to announce plans to object to the certification of Joe Biden's victory, and then he led the Senate efforts to overturn the Electoral College vote count, and he was caught fist bumping rioters on January 6th. Or, you got Ted Cruz, who's Princeton class of 1992 and Harvard Law class of 1995. He's now the senator from Texas, who in late 2020, he joined in John Eastman and Trump's plot to object to the election results in 6 swing states, and basically tried to delay the accepting of the Electoral College results on January 6th, potentially enabling the Repug state legislators to overturn them. And how to explain a new crop of Republican Senate candidates like J.D. Vance. Yale Law class of 20. He's part of the Yale Law class of 2013, and he's now a Republican candidate for the Senate from Ohio. And he claimed that there were certainly people voting illegally on a large scale basis in the 2020 election without any evidence to support his claim. Basically, somebody asked him if he believed the stolen election was if he believed the election was stolen in 2020. He said yes, he does, but it was not. Blake Master, Stanford class of 2008 and Stanford Law class of 2012. He's now the Republican candidate for the Senate from Arizona, and basically he has declared in campaign ads that Trump won, which in reality Trump lost. He promotes right-wing replacement theory that Democrats favor illegal immigration, which they don't, so that someday they can amnesty these people and make them voters who they expect to vote Democrat. That's not the case. These alumni of America's finest institutions of higher education haven't adhered to their alma mater ideals of service and stewardship of American democracy. In fact, they're actively wrecking American democracy. Nor can these elite graduates claim that they don't know any better. Most third graders can distinguish a lie from a truth. Now, these scions of the most prestigious halls of American Academy are knowingly and intentionally abetting the most dangerous attack on the American Civil War. Since the Civil War, basically, they're attacking democracy. Whatever the fuck did they learn from their rarefied education? Obviously, nothing. The core of a good liberal arts education is ethics. The central question is the meaning of a good society. This has been the case since the 18th century, when most of America's prestigious institutions of higher education were founded. Now, Adam Smith, the progenitor of modern economics, didn't call his field economics. He called it moral philosophy, and thought that his book, The Theory of Moral Sentiments, were more important than This is the Wealth of Nations. Now, Edmund Burke, Irish statesman and philosopher and godfather of modern conservatism, didn't advise that people in public life seek power above all else. He argued that they owe the public their judgment and conscience. There is no single answer to the meaning of a good society, of course, but it is the pursuit of it that draws one's judgment and conscience. This is why higher education has advanced the role of the role of reason in human affairs, and stood for the enlightenment of values of democracy and the rule of law. Now, this new crop of Republican pretenders hasn't learned anything of the kind. They are practitioners of a much earlier and more cynical set of ideas that might make a right but that the purpose of human endeavor is to gain power, and that ambition and treachery and Trump, excuse the verb, all other values. I can't help wondering, what do they see when they look in the fucking mirror each morning? And what do they tell themselves a day after they commit their fucking deceit? Any of them who tries to justify the despicable means that they are employing by telling themselves they can do more good by gaining or keeping power is under a dangerous illusion. As the great civil rights leader Bayard Rustin once said, if we desire a society that is democratic, then democracy must become a means as well as an end. And these products of the best education America has to offer are betraying the core values of America, and they deserve only fucking shame. So if you like the video, you can give the video a like and subscribe to my channel, REW King. You can also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out. If you want to support my work even further, you can donate to my Patreon link, which you can find in the About section of YouTube, and for just a little as $3 a month, your donation can help go a long way, and thanks for listening.